So, Taurus rising, you have spent the last 8 years since 2018 with Uranus transiting through your first house of self, body, ego, identity, the mask that you wear to the world, your sense of vitality, the lens through which you view the world. So as a Taurus lens, we are thinking about this being a Venus-ruled sign. We are thinking about viewing the world through the perspective of what looks good, what do we like the smell of, what do we like the taste of, where's the food. It's also this idea of not wanting to change, because when you have Taurus in any house of your birth chart, this is about not wanting to change. So when it's in your first house, it's feeling very stuck and stubborn about, I don't want to make this physical change. I don't want to start lifting weights because perhaps it's going to make me look big and I don't think that's what I want to look like. Or perhaps I want to skydive, but I don't trust that the earth is going to be there and my parachute is going to open. And Uranus over the last 8 years has taught you that actually doing things with a sense of curiousness and not being able to tell what the outcome is going to be has actually really opened up your own perspective in the world about being open to surprises and that things can work out in ways that we can't control. So there's been a big story here, Taurus risings, over the last 8 years of what you can and can't control, and always about coming back to your sense of self, finding those things in your life that make you feel stable and grounded, perhaps connecting with nature, being outside, being with the trees, being with animals, and really feeling that earthing sense of when you do connect with those things. Also, your relationship with food and material resources may have changed over the last 8 years. Perhaps now you only choose to eat a certain diet of things with a sense of having tried and tested a whole multitude of nutrition over the last 8 years. Maybe now you're really finding your groove. Perhaps you've had a period of time where you've had food intolerances over the last 8 years, which are now coming to an end now that your Uranus, the planet of awakening, is moving into your second house. So with Uranus moving into Gemini on Monday, the 27th of April for the next 8 years, whilst at the same time Venus has also recently moved into that house as well. Venus and Uranus in Gemini in your second house are making a sextile aspect to this massive pile up of Aries planets in your 12th house. And a sextile aspect is always going to bring in Venusian themes because it is the nature of Venus. So there's a free flow conversation between your 12th house of the subconscious, of rest and faith and surrender, and the things that you cannot see, making a conversation with your second house of material resources. This is the house of your talents and your skills, and it can be your income. How can you use communication in a very kind of free and open way, in a dynamic way, in a very Uranian way? It's this way of not allowing yourself the constraints or the fear of trying out technology in new ways. Perhaps you want to start a podcast, and Uranus in Gemini brings you that opportunity to start a podcast. Perhaps you want to start a YouTube channel. Perhaps you want to start using social media, but you want to use it in a way that serves you, not just everybody else. And actually, Gemini is very quick to learn, very curious, very, very mentally agile to receive information in, but also share information out. So however you use communication, you can find a way to almost profit off of that. The way that you use communication is very insightful and it's of value, very importantly, to other people, which can then bring resources to you in a material way. This is also a great transit for receiving resources to yourself, for your skills in writing, in your skills in photography, your skills playing guitar, as a musician, as a public speaker, as somebody who works online but sharing ideas. You could be a very visual person. I mean, when you're a Taurus rising and Venus rules your birth chart, then visual communication is a natural part of who you are. And therefore, if you start sharing your photographs, for example, online, or your artworks online, you may find that this is a great time to really expand your own sense of freedom. You find that your work is taking you out and about around the neighborhood. Maybe you are zipping from here to there. Maybe you're able to go to work on a bicycle and do a few trips each day to different places. Perhaps you're starting to work as an Uber driver, for example, or some sort of delivery system, because Gemini rules short journeys. It's also stopping to have a chat with the person in the shop, stopping and having a chat on your local dog walk, that kind of thing. And so all of this Gemini energy in your second house of resources and skills is having this conversation with your 12th house of the subconscious. And so perhaps now you have this unique opportunity to really make a new beginning about connecting with your subconscious. And this can be trial and error, right? This isn't, you know, how things are going to be for the next 20 years or something, not even for the next 2 months or 2 weeks even, but this is about trying different things on maybe a daily or a weekly basis that come from a place of, I'm just really excited to try this. And perhaps when that connects to the idea of the subconscious, we're thinking about trying new psychic techniques. Maybe you want to see what it's like to become a medium. Maybe you want to develop your intuition. Maybe you want to work with dreams, with dream works. You know, maybe Carl Jung is suddenly feeding into your consciousness, and you're having increased psychic experiences here in the 12th house, which are feeding into your ability to make money and increase your own resources, which in turn raises your own vibration in terms of self-worth and what you've really come here to develop in this lifetime in terms of your skill set.